had something like this, x plus 2 squared, or you had the absolute value x plus 2. Ignore everything else, okay? So there's a bunch of stuff around it, but I'm just ignoring it. That's not what I want to talk about. I just want to focus on this part from yesterday. For this part from yesterday, whether it was a parabola or whether it was a V-shape absolute, what was the movement for both of these? They both would go to the left 2 spaces, okay? So we'll write that down. Both of these would move left 2 spaces. Move left. They would move left. This is that, if you remember our little map from yesterday, this was the awkward one. The awkward stage is the one we had to be the most careful about because it goes against what we normally think it would be. So for this one, it would move left 2 spaces. Now today, here's how it would look. If you see this, the function where you have x plus 2 inside, okay? Not what it's basically saying is where whatever the equation looks like, you're going to have an x plus 2 in either this position or this position, but they don't have to give you the entire problem, okay? So this is saying there's an x plus 2 here or here in the problem. What movement are we going to do in this case? Well, basically, it's the same thing. If you see something like that, you're going to move left 2 spaces. Okay? So it's just like yesterday, but it's going to come with just a slightly different look at the beginning. All right? Now, why is it going to give us, why is this look going to be today and it's not going to look like yesterday? Well, here's the reason. Yesterday, when they gave you this look, you had to draw the picture. Today, the picture is already going to be drawn. So because it's already drawn, you don't need all the extra information. Yesterday, you needed all of it. Today, you're not going to get all of it. Today, they're only going to give you this part because the picture has already been drawn for you. Okay, and because the picture has already been drawn for you, you don't need to see the entire problem. You only need to see the little piece of information. Now the same thing can go for the other side as well. For yesterday, remember how we had something squared and then we had minus 3 at the end? Or for the absolute value, we had the absolute value minus 3 at the end? What did this minus 3 tell us yesterday? It's going down 3 spaces. Okay, so this minus 3 said we're moving down 3 spaces. Not opening down, but moving down 3 spaces. What's that?
Is that the y?
No. It has to do with the vertex movement.
Oh.
Remember yesterday how we started at the origin and then we moved the vertex? What's that?
I thought it was the number that's on that side.
No, this isn't the y-intercept. I'm glad you bring this up. This is not the y-intercept because, is this the SI model? No. Since this is not the SI model, that cannot be the y-intercept. If this was the SI model, then yes, I agree, that would be the y-intercept. Okay, so you have to think, what kind of model are we dealing with? That's not SI, so it can't be y-intercept. What are the models called? Later on next week, we're going to call the top one the quadratic model. So not the SI, the quadratic model. And because it's the quadratic model, not the y-intercept. And this one's the absolute value model, or sort of a deal. And so it kind of taps into some of the words we said yesterday. But that basically says, that number says move down 3 spaces. Now for today, it's going to look like this. It's going to have f of x, and then it's going to put the minus 3 at the back end. So it's saying the picture is already drawn, and then we're going to minus 3 it. Okay? So basically, if we recall from this first part, when we move left 2 spaces, this piece of information is just saying, okay, it's already been graphed for you, that's why you don't need to see the entire problem. But all you need to do to the picture is move it down 3 spaces. So this means exactly the same thing like yesterday, it's just that the picture has already been drawn for you. Yesterday you had to draw the picture, so you had to see everything all at once. So again, this is just going to be down 3 spaces.